with Jenks coach Adam Gaylor after a 31-21 win over Owasso. And coach, what are your overall thoughts tonight?
Overcame some adversity, which is big for a young football team, an experienced football team. So, no excuses. We got to play up to our standard, and really it wasn't anything huge. It was, execution offensively, blocking the right guys, making the right reads at quarterback, and then defensively it wasn't alignment or anything. It was really just tackling. We tackled a lot better after the first few drives and kind of settled down. Young on defense, so the nerves were there for them. You could kind of tell all day. And so once we settled in, we played much better.
I think KD Jones had 34 carries. This is one of the biggest workloads of his career. Was that something intentional that you intended going into the game?
Well, as a philosophy, pretty fast on offense with our tempo, and so try to wear defenses down, and so the third and fourth quarter we're able to run the football and move people with our big guys up front, and our guys offensively, staff, Coach Cronister and the rest of the staff did an unbelievable job making adjustments. And again, really it was little things. It wasn't major things. It was small execution errors that hindered us in the first half, and they did a great job of regrouping the kids in the second half.
I know Owasso's fake punt that didn't work late in the first half that swung the momentum around for you. Is that something that you work on special teams?
Always, and especially going against Coach Blankenship, he's always going to have some wrinkles you haven't seen. And so Landis Morris, our special teams coordinator, had those guys ready, and we fit it up right, it was a big momentum swing.
With KD Jones after Jenks' 31-21 comeback win at Owasso, and KD, how does it feel to finally get a win over the Rams?
Man, it feels great. Hats off to Owasso. They played a great game. My boys just played better. We came out slow, but we answered to the challenge. And that's what the score shows.
What was the difference in the second half? And it seemed like you were able to wear down Owasso.
Yeah, we knew we had to go. We knew we couldn't wait around. Say next possession, we just had to man up, and run the football. That's what happened. We started manning up, pushing people off the line, and ran the football.
You want to shout out to your offensive line?
Oh yeah, big shout out to my guys. Like I said, Owasso came out hard in the beginning, and my offensive line never batted an eye. They accepted the challenge, played aggressive, and the score shows it.
After Owasso had gotten the better of you a couple times last year, what's the feeling now after finally getting a win over the Rams?
Yeah, like I said, it feels great. But we expect to play them again in the playoffs. So, we build on this win. We got Union this upcoming week. So just keep getting better. Expect to see them in the playoffs.
You were pretty close to breaking your dad's rushing record. You didn't quite get it. Did that thought ever cross your mind?
Nah, I'm not really worried about that. I'm just worried about the win. Obviously, records are cool, but I just want to win. So that was my main goal. That was the only thought on my mind going during the game. So I wasn't really worried about the rushing yards.
You guys trailed by 2 touchdowns late in the second quarter, and also tried to pick a punt, and then you guys take advantage of the short field and score 24 unanswered points. But how are you guys able just to really take the momentum after that play? And
not the best call on their side of the field. But they gave us great position. I told my teammates really, we got to go score. We can't go scoreless in this second quarter. So that's exactly what we did.
And now you're 2-0. I know, talking with you all the way back in the spring, you and your teammates were talking about how important it was to get off to a quick start this season. You've done that.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. Like I said, I can't be more proud of my teammates and my brothers. These are my brothers. We fight in practice. Go head to head every practice. But we got each other's back out here on the field. So I just can't explain it. Just a brotherhood. I wouldn't want to be part of anything else.